Share it everywhere. I forgot how to do all this live stuff now. Morning, everyone. Just if you're joining this and then it's like you're joining through, we're doing live trading today. We're going to come in every Monday and Friday for sure, and then I'll decide on Wednesdays as and when, but I'll announce them on Telegram. But I will say that again in a little bit. Today we're going to go through the trade I'm in at the moment and break down and some other things. Any questions you guys ask, but for now let me just share this live trading room everywhere. Live trading for 1 hour on YouTube. Good morning to everyone as well. Currently in a GBP USD trade short, which we sent on signals this morning. So just waiting for that. We've had TP1 for 50% take profit, which was a really good take profit, to be honest, because that ended up pulling all the way back to like close to our entry. I mean, if we go on to candlesticks, let's see, it went a little bit higher. So it came very close to entry. And if we break the support, we are coming down to the next zone, which is what I'm waiting for. Oh, there's a few people joining. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining. Considering I haven't gone live in a long time. We're also going to go through two subjects today. We'll go on the signals content and pick, I guess, because Brendan, you're the only one in here. You're the only one that I love. What should we talk over today? So we can go through trading strategy, market conditions, consistency, psychology. Pick something from here, Mebro, and then I am going to go over it later today.
Let's have a look.
I didn't do this one yet. This one will be interesting. Beer trading.
What's beer trading?
When it's past the emissional kind of barrier and you end up just trading for the sake of it, and then you just, once you finish, it's kind of like when you go, I don't know if you've ever been in that zone. I still get it to this day. Sometimes I just sit there and just take 3 trades for no reason. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's I call it beer goggle trading. It's just over trading, revenge trading.
Yeah, you can talk about that.
Is that something you want to talk about today? Yeah, I guess I can make that today as well, actually.
Or how to prevent that would probably be more important for me.
Okay, let me write it out. There's a contents page, isn't there? General info. Morning, Nissa. Morning, everyone. Just leave this one up while we watch this trade. Hopefully hit take profit soon. There's quite a few of you guys watching. It's more than I thought. Thank you. All right, beer goggle trading. Let's type this up while we wait for this trade. And then I'll break this trade down in a sec as well. So let me timestamp this. Okay. So it's 9:02 is when we did it. So just going to quickly break down this trade to start off with. So this morning, the first thing we do is obviously top-down analysis. On the 4-hour chart, we can see that we were on a very bearish momentum with Euro, USD, and gold both looking quite bearish. Alongside with that, DXY was pushing onto the upside, which means we had a very high probability of this dropping further. Now, with this as well, we've broken this major support, and what's very, 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 very kind of scary but key is that GBP USD is coming to the low since 1985. So it's a very, very, very like specific price, because low of all time was like 1.11. If we go all the way back, we can see all the way this wick, which was caused in 1984, 1985. And you can see price was very close to even like just 1-to-1, which is crazy. Which Euro USD is actually now broken and below. So I generally believe that GBP USD is going to be coming down, and it is looking more bearish across the board alongside with that. So once you kind of get that, you understand the overall kind of like picture. So like the big picture first, right? And then you go into little. Now we understand that it's bearish, we're coming lower, and we go into 4 hours, and we can see the next potential zone is the low that we made in the Asian session, which is the Asian session, which was just the session before this. Generally, truly believe that if we were to break above this this higher zone here, then we could get potentials push onto the upside. So I said if we have a break, I'm waiting for a pattern A. If we wait for that pattern A, what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for, seriously, just literally point A to point B, which means that I would wait for my entry point, get my entry, and then just look for the move to go up to there. Now, the opposite has happened here, and I said that if we were looking to continue down, which we're holding above here, we've had our first leg here, and then I joined on the pattern A, which was here, for a push onto the downside. Now, I took 50% when we first hit this support, because on the left-hand side, we can see we had multiple times, like a whole hour, where this didn't break this support. So this was a major support for me. So this support meaning that I took 50% profit, and then if whatever happens, I'm at least secured. And it was a good take profit, because I wouldn't have liked to sit back on that slight pullback with the full position. Instead, it is pulled back and now dropped further. If we break this support, then we're on to our next level down below. So very, very simple, very, very nice and simple when it comes to breaking it down in trading. So now I'm looking for TP2. So if we break the support, I expect the next yellow zone to go, and that's it. It's literally price action. You wait for one zone to the other, and you try and take and make your thesis and your trade in between them. So that's the breakdown for that trade. I did actually also have another trade, which was, I didn't actually trade it, but I called it and sent in the signals, which was DAX short this morning. And the great idea of this, is to break this down, was this broke the moving averages and pushed onto the downside. So we had our first leg and our first movement at 6. Same thing with our top down analysis on the right hand side. We can see 4 hours. We were on a bearish movement momentum, and we were looking very strong to retest this zone here. And if we break this zone, we could come all the way down to this next key level, and even much further down to this major support here, which is caused from the 4 hours on the time frame of July in 2022. So that real low again. So same thing, right? Same approach. So from here, we ended up testing Tokyo low. If we had a sell here, it was a pattern A, which is a join on an indecision, which is something we teach in our course. And literally just from point A to point B, ended up TPing with a 3R. I believe someone took this in our trading team community as well, so that's really cool. But yeah, it's a really, really simple trade. But I didn't sit on this one, and I didn't take this one because 8 a.m. liquidity would have came in. And potentially have gone either way, and I don't really like trading pre-8 anymore with DAX, so it's not really worth it for me. So I'm happy, like I reviewed it and I wrote it down. I'm happy, number one, that I called the trade and I was correct. Number two, I didn't take the trade, which is very hard to do sometimes. And number three, the whole breakdown was good, and then I took an A+ setup on GBP USD. So that's how it is at the moment. And then I'm currently running, what's that, 1.3k profit, and then 750 in left over. But this account is in slight drawdown. Maybe I should share this screen as well. Don't know how to do that. Right, so that's that. Let me talk about the beer goggles. We'll talk about beer goggles in about, let's call it 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll set it up now. we should break through now. No, looking good. The support again, and you can see it's rejected slightly. I just want to kind of take profit on this soon. Yeah, I want to close this purely because I'm fed up with waiting. This could probably still go, and it's still telling me to hold. But the thing is, it's now 9:10. I've held enough of this long enough, and it's given me more than enough opportunities. And one of the big things I'm trying to do at the moment is just accumulate win rate. Like my win rate is very, very low at the moment. Obviously still profitable, but I think that potentially holding with a higher win rate would definitely help, as I am trading less as well. So I'm still really happy with that. It was a good day. Set the week off straight with a nice little win. Confidence back up. We've had a slight losing period, so that's why win rate will help definitely do on the confidence. So when I do that as well, something just to kind of help through is when I am in a losing period, to help build up the confidence, I do have shorter TPs at times, and I do tend to secure profits at 2R, 2.5R, etc. A little bit more to compound those wins and push their account back up, and then trade them back to normal once I hit a specific time and figure. Morning, Aaron. Just typing up this statement, and then we'll go through it. Then we'll review the trade once more. We'll talk about some other things and resources, and then that's pretty much this morning done, because we've already got our trade. I was going to look for another trade today, but I'm done, man. Like, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. I generally think this could probably still go as well. Just ended up being a 2-hour trade with the early close and the current close. So DAX has just come to an alert at the moment, but I'm not really feeling confident on it. So if I don't feel confident, just leave it away. And to be honest, I'm just really want to stack today's win and just have today's green. That's all I care about right now. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I think my visualization really helps. All right, let's get this. So let's go through this. I'm going to record this as well. So 916. Okay, so good morning, everyone. This recording is going to be talking about this trade setup that we have with GBP/USD. I'm going to go through that, and then after this, we're going to talk about big goggle trading, which is quite an interesting concept. So I'll talk about what it is, how they are formed, how to avoid them, and we all do it, and ultimately a little bit of a lesson about that. So to start off with GBP/USD, this ended up being roughly around 2-hour trade. We had our 50% take profit down here at 820 when it hit this support, and then the second position I just closed recently as it was pulling back again. I do think that this can still have the probability to drop to the next support, but honestly, I just wanted to secure today in a decent profit. Now, as trading works and how I trade is I always start with a daily time frame and top-down analysis. Now, with the daily analysis, the first thing I could see coming in this morning on the daily and 4-hour is Euro USD, gold, and GBP USD. All three of them look like they were bearish, and ironically, I believe gold did drop. Yeah, gold did drop from 1666. So 400 pips from there. And on the 4-hour chart, I just generally believe that GBP USD could have come to retest this low, which is what we're still waiting for, essentially. So we'll know if that hit at the end of the day or not. Now, understanding the overall movement from them is I go onto my trading time frame, which is 10 minutes, and then I decipher what kind of entry setups and what I'm waiting for. Now, essentially, I wanted it was trading within this zone. We had our first leg down, and I drove for a pattern A for a continuation. So I was waiting for that pattern A. If we broke up onto the upside, broke the moving averages, and did a push high enough, I would then look for the pullback and enter for the push onto the upside up to this yellow box section here. So really and truly, I'm just looking for either this box or this box to be hit and try to get the movement in between, which is what I've done exactly on this trade here, where I've just got a small movement in between. From there, I ended up entering on the 5-minute time frame, waiting for the closure and the pattern A. We had 2 entries, and then I sent that onto the signals, and then that is today's trade pretty much, closing on the first basal part of it, which is at at the first support here, bouncing from this support. And then we can see we've had another rejection again, which I'm quite happy at close. But like I said, the probability of this could still easily break through the support and come to the next support. It's literally it. It's just price action to action. It's really simple trading. It may look a little bit gobbledygook because I have different like trends, like different indicators and stuff. But really and truly, you can trade this with a naked chart, and you just need to literally all it is you're planning for one position or one price action from one area to go to a potential another area. You have your key elements of your strategy, which is your entry requirements or whatever, for 1 to 3 or whatever risk to reward, to create on a high probability setup for you to win X amount of times. And then you must understand fallacy, which means that every single trade has the same amount of probability. It can win, it can lose. And most importantly, you just need to stick to your plan. So that's just something, really to refresh you guys on, and the same thing to refresh myself on as well, because whatever I tell you is whatever I must tell myself as well. It's really, really important to take that away. So next up, we're going to be talking about the beer goggles. Now, I call it beer goggle trading is because, as you know, when you've had a few beers, you don't see straight, you don't think straight. Now, luckily, I've never ever made those mistakes, but I've definitely seen a lot of my friends make those mistakes and do whatever it is, or whatever situation you want to take it is. And you can have beer goggles when it comes to trading. Now, what is beer goggles? Have you ever taken a trade to review it and then to think, I shouldn't have taken that trade? And then you're like, worse yet, you sit there to yourself and you think, do you know what? This trade isn't my setup, and I still take it. So that's even worse, right? Like, you shouldn't do it, and you still do it. That's not so good. And then after, you kind of just sit in sorrow. And then another example is you get stuck or married into this situation where you think the trade is going in your direction, you end up over trading it, and then the next candle forms in your favor, and you just keep going, and you just end up over trading, revenge trading, like the silly monkey you are in that current moment. That's what I call beer goggle trading. And look, let me just kind of like own up to that. Like, I've definitely done that plenty of times in the past. And if anything, that's not the main thing I try to prevent now, because it can just destroy, one of those days can destroy your account and destroy all your hard work. So it's just not, honestly, it's not worth it. So if it's not worth it, then that's the main thing we should focus on avoiding. Now, how does it formed and how does it kind of come through? So beer goggles are generally formed from staring at the markets and the charts too much, and it's just that simple. And how that works is because we're sitting there staring at the markets and staring at the charts, what happens with our psychology and how it kind of works with our mindset is we kind of end up thinking, oh, the next candle is going to do this. We get stuck in this zone, and we think the next trade is in my favor. Or if you've just taken a trade and you've had a loss, you FOMO, it's like, oh, it's definitely going to go now. And you kind of get in this like zone where you really, really just get stuck in this emotion, I would like to say. You end up thinking and predicting of the markets, you end up forcing trades, and you end up forcing your setup in the current condition where you should be waiting for a condition to come to your setup. So you wait for the markets to come to you, you don't force yourself into the markets. Okay, so something I learned from Roger Banks and Alex's interview, which is really, really cool, is that traditionally we're all taught that working harder means making more money, right? Which is it is in essence a truth to a lot of things, but when it comes to trading, it's actually the opposite. The less you trade, the more you'll make, because you're taking less executions. And for and forming from that, we're only Roger was saying he ended up seeing a virtual psychologist, and the psychologist says that we can only make 2 to 3 rash, like really strong and logical emotional decisions a day. And when it comes to trading is money affects us emotionally. So to make these high quality decisions a day, we can only really make 2 or 3. So if you're doing anything more than that, everything becomes a bit more rational, and you start losing your connection to it. So then that's where beer goggles can be formed, because you don't have an emotion to the trading, you don't care anymore, and it is what it is, right? And then the next day, that's when you get frustrated at yourself even more, or when you review it even more, because you're at a calmer state, you're at a more, different state of being, right? So there are many ways you can prevent this. I've read the book called The Mental Game, which Anton has suggested to me, and on that it is the timer. So if you set yourself a timer, which I've got this like productivity timer that I bought from TikTok, ironically, and you can set it for like 10-15 minutes, and you just think after 10-15 minutes I'm going to stand up, I'm going to walk away, going to do something, or I'm going to go watch YouTube, I'm going to do something else, I'm just not going to trade. Just do something else, reset my mind, and then come back. Now if that trade is still there, still valid, then yeah, take it, but at least you've had a good gap and you've walked away and taken some time away as well. Another way, obviously, we were talking about how beer goggles are formed, is the FOMO, right? When you've lost a trade and you re-enter and you get to the point of no return, and I've definitely done this as something you need to avoid, is you set your stop loss, it's wicked you out, then you re-enter it, it's won a trade. then the next one you do, and then you think, oh, the same thing will happen again. And that's even worse, because if you lose a few in a row, you kind of think, oh, that's enough. But if you lose and then win, you end up losing, winning, losing, winning, losing, winning. The losses, yeah, maybe the risk to reward, the losses can incur quite a lot, and they can essentially just wipe out your wins, your gains, and even your account if you're silly about it. So that's how to how they're formed and whatnot, and how you can prevent them. So understanding the root of the problem is the most key. So you got to think, okay, how do you get your beer goggle trading? Do you get it from FOMO? And this is where journaling comes into key, right? We use Notions and Edgewonk and stuff. So how are you finding these situations? How are they forcing you into these situations? What time of day are you doing it? And then from these, you need to find your triggers. Is it because you watch the stop loss get hit, or you're watching the market? Well, if that's the case, then set, forget, walk away. And if it hit, at least if you come back an hour, the trade sap's already gone. The stop loss or take profits already hit. You just have to review the trade. Another solution that I like to have is ultimately you set yourself X amount of trades a day and you really just stick to that. So for me at the moment, it's 2 to 3. Well, 2 actual trade ideas, but 3 executions, because I'm willing to retry if an A+ setup is there and whatever the stop loss is. Something I close early and then I can re-enter, or I save the X amount. But I always have a set amount of loss and a set amount of trades. That also prevents it, and that's something you need to review and be disciplined on. And in trading, the hard work that I want to finish off on and how you can move on from this is, as we go from the harder you work, the more you make in just the industry, the hard work in trading is discipline. So the more discipline you have, the more you'll make. And it's one of the hardest things to grasp. And that is why trading is one of the hardest things, full stop, because discipline is the thing you need to master. And you can't do that just by overworking and over trading and learning new strategies and stuff like that. Learning new strategies and learning new things is not the answer or solution. It's like me, right? I still buy other people's Forex courses right now just to see like what their psychology is. It's not the strategy. I don't need to change my strategy. I'm very happy with my strategy. What I do need is to consistently level up my mindset, to consistently level up my psychology, and more importantly, consistently understand what the other Dan, the parallel universe Dan, the millionaire Dan, what he is doing and how he is living his life, and I need to do that, right? And the best way to do that is to act on and think about it right now. And look, I'll make mistakes, I'll own up to them, and I'll learn from my mistakes. Failures and mistakes are the best things, because if you're not failing, you're not learning. If you're not failing, that means you are not doing something outside of your remit. Because if you're failing, that means you're trying something new. And if you're trying something new, you're able to fail on that new thing and understand, got it, that's not the way to do it. Okay, let's try another way. And look, you know, it's a deep thing, but to think is, whatever your purpose in life is, whatever life is, I've got another 70 however many years, 50 years or 40 years of my life to fail at stuff until I get it right. And you only need to get it right once. Success only needs to happen once. So once it's done, that's yours, and then you just move on and take it from there. All right, so that is a beer goggle trading. And on that note, I am going to quickly plug in on this. So if you want to come down and get that beer goggle, the beer goggle resource sheet, so if you basically just want to read it, I'll finish typing it up as well later today. You can come onto the website. The website has loads of free resources at the moment. I'm building a whole list. It's going to be through loads, hundreds and hundreds of this. And you can download it, you can watch it. So for example, this video will be up with this sheet, so you can download the sheet and you can watch the sheet. You've got trading strategy, breakouts, prop firm reviews, 3-step guides, etc. And then whatever it is, if you want to help support us with our referral links. And then last but not least as well, our courses and info, which is available there as well. So my certificates, the funded course is going to be on discount, on pre-sale at the moment, and we have an option to buy this with a funded challenge as well with CTI, where we will show you the rules, explain to you, and how you help you kind of pass it and help you understand it. Now obviously nothing's guaranteed, but that is the case, and increase that probability. We've got our signals and then our other courses as well. So if you want to go to our website and check it out. And then for the people who are quite serious, we have all of these as well. If you want one-to-one, which is 12-week bootcamp, full bundle, which is everything included, the funded, the crypto, Forex, funded accounts, 3 months of signals. And if you want to watch my interviews, etc., they are there. Testimonials, these are there as well. We've got more of these to come up as well. So yeah, there's the website. I've spent a lot of time building this again. We haven't had a website for nearly half the year. And yeah, make sure you join, like, share, and subscribe, and hit on the YouTube channel too. Right, that recording is done. If you guys got any questions, ask away. So let's see what you said. So refreshing to see how takes his profession so serious and prepare for the day ahead. Thank you, brother. Yeah, that's it. Beer goggles and women. That's what I was ultimately saying. Really love to try and understand the psychology side of trading. As the number one problem I have dealing with losses into textile trades. End up break-even trader. Well, break-even trader is a great trader already because you're not a losing trader. So that's a good start. But ultimately, yeah, it's all about the level up from there. Now, if the strategy is proven to work and you've done enough back testing, you have understanding, you have the confidence from it, then it really is just down to you honing and picking the A plus quality setups and finding someone to review what you're doing wrong that you can't see. Because remember, you don't know what you don't know. This is a stupid statement, but it's so true. Like, you don't know what you don't know. And in order to find out what you don't know, you need someone else who's already been there, done that, to tell you what you don't know, or someone to review it. Another thing is to figure out what other people are doing and to emulate and model them for the people who you want to either become, see, or role model, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily role model, oh my, they're my, like, everything, whatever. It's just, okay, he's got what I want to get. How can I get what he wants to get? How he has it, sorry. And just emulate exactly what he's doing. So psychology as well. So, like, that's why I'll always humble myself and understand, like, these traders are not better than me, but they will have something that they understand, especially at that level, and I'm only one level away in my mind. And just watch them to understand their psychology side of things. GBP USD was a really good close. So yeah. Hope that helped you all. We're going to stay live for another 10-15 minutes and then we will close off, and then we'll be back on Friday again. I'll review the week for the Friday. So essentially that's pretty much mainly it. So in the timestamps you've got, we're breaking down today's trade on GBP USD. We talked about beer goggle trading psychology and really helping you to level up from there. If you want more resources as well, they are completely on my website. And that's the main kind of thing. I don't really have anything else to mainly mention unless you guys have questions. But today, my main goal today is to finish off the website, to carry on studying. Stoicism is something that I want to study more and understand more, because there's just more calamity and peacefulness and mindfulness in the study of that, which I need more of in my life. And then just work on building crypto W champ and some content and stuff today. So that's my day for the rest of the day. Oh, and I'm hitting legs, so I'm going to absolutely destroy legs. So yeah, hopefully that helped. Was you able to catch that beer goggle session, Brendan, by the way?
Yeah. Caught most of that. Thank you, man.
Was it helpful?
Yeah, very useful. It all just comes back to the same point, doesn't it? It's just be calm, be present. Whether it's your self-sabotaging, whether it's your FOMOing, whether it's your beer goggling, it's all just the same thing. It's you're not making calm, rational, disciplined decisions.
Yeah, you know what, it's really true. Like, that's another way of putting it, and this is where bouncing heads, right? Like you say, being present and accepting is a big thing as well. So you've got to accept it and be present and really be in the moment. And I think for me anyway, and like Ray Dalio and all of those say, like, really just the way to be in the moment is to meditate more. And the more you meditate, the more you understand, and it's like a muscle. The more you'll be able to push yourself to be able to be in the moment and be present.
Yeah.
So guys, another thing is, make sure you smash that like button for me today. Let's get it up. If you could do that as well, actually, Brendan, just go and like it. Just leave it.
Yeah, I've already done it.
My guy.
I'm in your YouTube, mate. Don't worry about that.
Yes, that's an extra viewer. Let's try and grow this again. I think at the top point, or the peak point of live streaming, we had 100, 150, I think. And then we're averaging between, I think, 30 to 50. So if we get back
That's
to
cool.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, 150 would be very good, very motivating. So all of you guys individually can help by just liking that and then commenting on the video and sharing it. We'll be back on Friday for our next live session. I may do one on Wednesday. If I do one on Wednesday, I will post it on the Telegram chat. But every Monday and Friday for sure. That's definitely something I can commit to because it doesn't take, because I've got to do it anyway. I've got another 2 hours of fasting before I can eat. Are you in anything, or you looking, or you're waiting for anything today?
No, potentially GJ short, but I'm not confident in that. I think higher time. Yeah, no, nothing today. I don't think. Like I said, I'm on my last week of funded, so I'm just waiting for an
A
A
plus.
setup. I'm gonna have to just up my risk on basically.
But yeah, I like that though, because now like you're like waiting like a hawk. You know exactly what you're waiting for. You know what I mean?
Did you say you're still in GU?
No, closed it. Closed it earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's going to reverse. I think GU is going to potentially push up, and GJ as well. But it doesn't matter. I'm just going to leave it. I'm happy with today. I literally closed the first position like really well, and that really set me up. Yeah, you could just see like I'm really glad I closed this one nicely because that rejection here really wasn't nice. Yeah, I wouldn't have liked being in the current position now if I still had my trade open. So I'm glad I closed it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think I played today really well. So that's another reason why I don't want to take another trade today, because even if it wins, that would be great. But if it loses, it wouldn't be good. So I'd rather just not trade.
I think I'm gonna jump off, have breakfast and stuff.
That's cool. I'm going to finish off. All right. Well, everyone, thanks for joining on today's session. Appreciate it. I'll see you on Friday, potentially Wednesday. You too, my broski. You have a lovely day.
Ladies, man, have a good day.
See you.
Peace.